And you're listening to the Talk to Me station, AM 1060 WMEL. This is Pop Garden Radio. I'm your host, Adam Waltemire. And a very big song for us here on Pop Garden Radio last year. That's Trysette with Feel So Pretty. It was actually the number 2 song on Pop Garden Radio for 2015. And after weeks and weeks and months and what feels like years, we finally get to talk to Trysette live on the air. Trysette, welcome to Pop Garden Radio.
Thank you, Adam. Hi, we did it.
Yeah, finally. And I think by choosing April Fool's Day, that broke the jinx.
I think so, even though April Fool's was yesterday in Australia.
That's true. And now it's about 12:30 in the morning, Saturday morning here. What time is it where you are?
Well, in New South Wales, where I usually am, it's 3:30 p.m., but I'm in Queensland, so it's 2:30 p.m., and New South Wales will be going off, daylight saving, which I think you call summertime soon. But you guys went off it recently, hence all the confusion with the the time zones.
Yeah, I saw some people, in your little group there that were trying to do the math to figure out what time it was going to be. That's dedication. I like that. You've got some incredible fans.
I have. I'm so lucky. Can I give a shout out to some of them who are actually listening in and chatting live on Facebook?
Yeah,
we've got
absolutely.
Adele and Joseph and David, Jeff, my sister DL, Claudette, Barb, David, I said David, Karen, Susie, and more.
Excellent. Yeah, I appreciate the fact that they're tuning in. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love my friends and fans all around the world. In fact, it's just amazing. I love this. We've got Wisconsin and Colorado and, California,
and
all over the place. Florida. You're in Florida.
I'm in Florida. Isn't there someone there in South Africa?
Claudette's in South Africa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty amazing. I that's the power of the web and social media. You just get to meet so many people, from around the world and get to know each other through the music and through that. It's pretty cool.
It's wonderful, and it makes the independent musician's career way more possible these days, whereas once upon a time you would have to literally go out and just play, 7 nights a week to find new audiences.
Mm-hmm. And now you can release it online, and people from anywhere can pick it up. And now have you... No, you're in Australia, obviously, and we can tell by listening to you that you're not from Florida. Am I saying your name right?
Yes, and I was going to mention that. Thank you very much. It's been the bane of my life. But, people say they love it, so I'll stick with it. But my mum actually, she, because I'm one of 9 children, number 4, we're all just a number, and she spelt my name originally Try, she's going to hate me for saying this, but Try Set. And so at school I got Trysette all the time. When the teacher does the roll call and then there's a pause before the name and I just stand up and go, yeah, that'll be me. So actually when I was 19 I decided that's enough, I'm going to change the spelling. I didn't change it by default, I just decided from now on this is how I spell it, Trysette. And most of the world gets it right. But I do, in fact, most of Australia gets it right, but I have noticed that Americans tend to pronounce words way more phonetically than we do. And so I do get Trysette a lot in America.
And I wasn't sure when I first started playing you if I was right, and then you kind of spelled it out for me, and I've been doing my best. So I'm glad to know that I've been getting it right all these months.
Perfect. Gold star.
And with someone with a last name like Waltemire, who was also a substitute teacher, I try really hard to get there. And there's some artists that I don't play just because I can't say their name. There's that guy that goes by the initials CVS. Mike's looking at me. I'm sure he knows how to pronounce the guy's last name. I don't play it because I don't want to butcher the man's name.
Oh, that's harsh, Adam. Harsh.
I have played some stuff, and like he released a couple of songs on a tribute a few years ago, and I said it. I'm like, I know I'm saying this wrong.
Oh, well, I feel sorry for the school teachers nowadays because there's hardly a common name amongst them, the children.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Get some. Everyone tries to out unique their relatives or out unique their neighbors. So you get some interesting names and put some dashes and some weird things in there.
Yeah.
So you've been pretty busy as of late. You released the album last summer, or was it last spring?
Last summer in America, yes.
Oh, that's right. Because
Yes.
our summer is your winter.
That's right. And I was in America when I released it because I'd actually been recording it over the previous couple of years when I'd been over there touring. And it was obviously recorded in Los Angeles. So I could really only work on it when I was over there. So it took 2 to 3 years. But I'm glad it did in the end. In the beginning, I was kind of impatient thinking, is this ever going to be done, this album? But, everything has its time. And in hindsight, you can always look back and go, well, actually, I'm glad it didn't get released the first year. And I'm glad it wasn't finished the second year because, when it was released, it was just the right time for those songs and they were finished.
And that's a good way of saying that. So you had time to let the songs grow and mature, and they were right at the right time.
Yeah, that's how it felt.
Remember when I first heard "Feel So Pretty"? I hadn't heard of you prior to that. What was it? Was it Karen who posted it? Someone.
Probably Karen.
Yeah, and I saw the video. I was like, "What's this?" I immediately reached out to you. I'm like, "You don't know who I am, but I must play you."
You know what you just said there? That's how Karen Nash speaks. I must play you. You must come here to me.
That's funny. Yeah,
Sorry, that's a bit of an in thing, in joke.
She's been on my Facebook for years, and I go out to California quite often, but I've never met her.
Oh, really? Oh, no wonder you speak like her.
So the song "Feels So Pretty." Tell us about that song, because at first I thought this is going to be a great summer song, but it just stuck with me throughout the whole year. It's probably the happiest song that I played all year last year.
Thank you. It's actually, I grew up feeling a bit like a tomboy, and I had never really embraced my femininity until, the last 5 to 10 years, 5 years even, I imagine. And I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of girls and women find it difficult to actually get in touch with their femininity, even though we are women. But it just depends on your upbringing. And I was surrounded by people at the time of writing this song who actually made me feel girly. And I'd never really felt girly. I just hadn't. And I really loved the way that this was starting to impact on my life. And I liked the way that it felt. And because I was never that child that had dolls, and I was the girl that went motorbike riding with the boys when the other girls weren't allowed to, and so I was kind of just one of the boys. It was all very innocent, but I hung out a lot with the guys, so that's where the song came from, and it's all about embracing your natural beauty and your femininity, which is why I wanted the video to be all about women, which, Feels So Pretty lends itself to, women as well. But I just wanted the video to have all women in it, and women of all ages. I've got my mum in there, and I've got my sisters and my niece, and I've got all my girlfriends or whoever could be in it from around the world. I got them to send me just little clips of themselves. And so there's probably about 30 women in there in the video. And I just love that it's about natural beauty. It's not about, putting your makeup on and looking as physically beautiful as you can. It's about inner beauty.
And it comes off quite well, and it plays great into the whole vibe of the song. And it was neat seeing everyone get behind it and just have fun with it.
Yes. And also it was when I was, preparing to do the photo shoot for the cover with my friend Robin Craig in Arizona, I was thinking, gosh, it's going to be, I have to really think about what I want for the cover, because with a title like Feel So Pretty, I wanted it to have the right message.
Yeah.
And that picture that's on the cover, we did about a week-long photo shoot in Arizona, because we're good friends, so a lot of it was just, giggles. And that photo that actually ended up on the cover was one where I was mucking around on the front of this gorgeous old Dodge truck. It had been raining. It was the last day. We thought, oh, look, it's raining. We're not going to get anything. But the rain stopped. And then this couple walked past and they saw us. And the woman called out to me and she said, "Work it, baby." And I just pulled that pose for her in response to her call.
Yeah.
And that happened to be, after we sifted through all the photos, that happened to be the one that suited the album cover and the title.
That's pretty cool. That really, really is cool. And I would have to expect that the album cover would have been a shadow.
Oh, well, stay tuned, Adam. That's the next one. You've just blown my cover.
Sorry.
You had no idea. I know the whole Shadow Girl thing is hilarious. It's really kind of just taken on a life of its own. I know I'm not the first person to post a shadow photo, far from it, but I just happened to put one or two up in a row and, like, everybody just enjoyed it, and then they just started posting theirs in response, and I think it's hilarious. I get such a kick out of it, and I've been putting all of them, everybody who posts them, I'm putting theirs and mine up on my website under Shadow Girl, and there's a whole gallery there now.
That's so neat. And I got to tell you, it's not easy just simply taking a picture of your shadow. I mean, you can, but if you want to be creative, you got to try to find a way without getting the camera in there or getting yourself in.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And you're on the page, Adam. You sent me one or two, actually.
Two, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, one of
you're
me and my
featured.
buddy. Yeah, one at Disneyland with me and my buddy Kevin, and the one that was just an accident. I was there taking pictures of something else, and then I was like, oh look, there I am.
I'll send this to Shadow Girl.
Fun stuff. Oh,
Great.
As you started getting into music, what are some of your musical influences?
At about 16, 17, I was highly influenced by Carole King and James Taylor, even Elton John, because, he played the piano, and I loved his music, but I tried to imitate artists who played the piano. Lionel Richie, I used to love, I'm a sucker for a ballad, and I think Lionel's Hello was one of the first songs I learned to play and sing. And, of course, I was in the school choir as well, so we did some REO Speedwagon, and we did all sorts of pop songs. And I would go home once learning the song in choir, and I'd just sit down at the piano and teach myself how to play it, which was how I learned to play by ear, because I was classically trained, and that's sometimes difficult to then break away from that to playing by ear, but I was lucky I managed to be able to do that, which then led into my, starting to write songs. And
I know this is not your first record. How many albums are we into your career here?
It Feels So Pretty is my fifth album. It's the fourth album is called Silky Fingers, and it's a compilation of 10 of my songs just done on piano and vocal. So there are 5 altogether, including that solo album.
Okay. Actually, I need to pick up the other 4. I definitely need to, so I can get the whole Trysette experience.
Wonderful. Well, this year I'm working on just doing covers. I think you might be aware that I've started my new project is that I'm doing one cover per month this year. It'll probably turn out to be 10 all up because we kind of missed out on January and, So that's really fun and exciting, and I've got a team of supporters who are helping me to make that happen over at Patreon.com, and I've done Fix You by Coldplay, and I just last weekend recorded Natural Woman by Carole King, and that was a really special one for me to do because, like I said, she was a huge influence on me as a teenager. So yeah. I'm hoping to release those covers at the end of this year as a full album.
That would be a lot of fun. Every November, actually the first show after Thanksgiving is always my annual cover special, so this will be your first year being involved in that. So hopefully by then we'll have a handful of tracks to choose from.
Yes, and of course I did Chasing Cars on my Feel So Pretty album by Snow Patrol.
But yeah, that'll be neat to hear those. Hear your interpretations of the other covers. I'm looking forward to that.
Great.
We're getting some Skype weirdness going on there, which you may not be able to hear. It sounds like you took a trip underwater there for a moment. So hope you had a nice swim.
It's probably my internet here. Welcome to Australia.
Well, it's not that. Sometimes Skype just does that. It's just a thing.
Okay, so we're back, are we?
Yeah, we're back. We did only miss just a little bit there, so that's fine. And you're listening to the Talk to Me station, AM 1060 WMEL. This is Pop Garden Radio. I'm your host, Adam Waltemire. We are in conversation, final minutes here with Trysette out of Australia. And it's kind of weird. I'm talking to you and you're in the future. So
that's right. It's nice over here in the future.
If people want to find more about you, more about your music, I know you mentioned the website where the Shadow Girl stuff is. Where's the best place that people should go?
Well, the website is probably the best place to start with. It's trysette.com, Tryssette.com. And there you've got the homepage where I introduce myself with a little video, and people can actually download my Chasing Cars cover for free if they want to join the mailing list. And of course, with the website, I have all sorts of pages where you can listen, you can read the bio. I have a blog that I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 months, and that seems to be quite popular actually, because I kind of tell little stories about my life, and if I do a new recording, I like to talk about it and put together a little behind the scenes video. So you'll find actually the most recent one is the Carole King cover, and there's a little behind the scenes video of that track there. Yeah, so the website's great, and from there you can also go to YouTube. I tend to put quite a few of my videos on the website in case people don't venture over to YouTube, and you can go to iTunes and Amazon and all sorts of places from there.
Excellent. Well, I definitely need to make sure that when I update the Pop Garden Radio website that I get a link to you over there so people can find that. When I post the podcast in a couple days, people will be able to listen to the interview again and, of course, go straight to where you are to see more about
Fantastic.
You, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you're seeing this, but in the little group that you had created on Facebook for the interview, you're actually getting some pretty good response in there live as we go on. So it's
I've just refreshed my page. I hadn't had a chance, and I was too scared to touch it in case we lost connection.
Well, this has been fun. I feel bad that it took us forever to get here. Between personal stuff that I had going on, and sports schedules, and this, that, and I think we initially tried it sometime in January.
Nothing like a bit of anticipation, Adam.
I think some of your fans were starting to think that we were really just kidding. We weren't really going to do it.
Oh, they trust me by now. They know that I always follow through. I never let them down, do I, fans? Come on, stick with me here.
Well, maybe sometime when you're in the U.S., so if you're out in California, because I go out there at least once a year, maybe we might happen to be on the same coast at the same time. We might actually get to meet up. Who knows?
That would be so fun, Adam. Yes, I'd love to.
Well, what I want to do, Trysette, is I want to close out with Under My Skin. And can you tell us a little bit about this song?
Yes, this seems to be quite a popular song. It's so funny when you putting an album together, you have no idea. I have my own favourites that I love to sing and play, but generally you have no idea which ones are going to be popular amongst, the wider audience. Mm-hmm. This one seems to be, and it's all about, finding new love a little too soon after you've had your heart broken, and it's that feeling of, oh dear, whoops, I'm in trouble here because I really like you, but I'm not ready to go there. It's kind of like, don't get under my skin, but damn it, you are under my skin, and now it's all too late because I'm in it, emotionally.
That's another good feeling right there. It's like you don't want it, but you want it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What can we do?
I think we've all been there in one way at some point in our lives. Oh, Trysette, thank you very much for hanging with me here on the air with Pop Garden Radio, and we will definitely do this again as the year goes along. Maybe after some more of the covers are done, I'll have you come on and we'll talk about those.
That would be great. Thank you so much for having me on today, Adam.
Oh, it was my pleasure. My pleasure. Go ahead and hang on the line a little bit while Jerry spins Under My Skin, and I'll talk to you on the other side.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you. And you're listening to Pop Garden Radio on the Talk to Me station, AM 1060 WMEL. Closing out with another song from Trysette. This is Under My Skin.
Show me